Even before the worst of this week's extreme heat sets in, we are seeing fires break out across Southern California. Tonight, first responders stress that fire danger is not the only concern as temperatures climb.
They should start drinking water right now because when in the peak of the day, it's too late. So we want people to start hydrating right away.
And good evening, everyone. Welcome to West Coast Wrap. I'm Alex Savage. Extreme heat warnings already are in effect across some parts of the West tonight, and those warnings kick in tomorrow morning in Southern California, where firefighters already are on alert. Crews were quick to jump on a brush fire this afternoon that was burning dangerously close to a number of homes in Orange County. Thanks to a quick air attack, crews were able to knock down this fire at about 4 acres, and in the end, there were no homes damaged here. The extreme heat is expected to intensify the fire danger across Southern California beginning tomorrow. As Fox 11's Nick Garcia reports, firefighting resources have been pre-positioned in areas that are known to be vulnerable to fires.
As the hot sun beats down on the valley amid our worst heat wave this year, reinforcements have been called in for the fire department.
We have deployed additional resources. We have 9 additional fire engines. We have additional helicopter. We have our brand new Crew 4 Wildland Hand Crew.
The hand crew is just one of the resources the fire department has in its toolbox. These are 2 of the 10 engines sent by the governor's Office of Emergency Management, which will stay in LA through the weekend. Over at Lake Balboa Park, the heat's not keeping you away.
No, because if you can't live in the valley and not just go out and face the heat anyway.
Others found ways to stay cool under the shady trees and near the water feeding the ducks.
Ready or not, it's coming, so we gotta take a lot of precautions. Stay in the shade, drink water, put some sunscreen.
Experts say the best thing to do is stay inside and stay hydrated.
They should start drinking water right now because when in the peak of the day, it's too late. So we want people to start hydrating right away.
And know that heat exhaustion, where you're lightheaded and sweating profusely, can quickly turn to heat stroke, where your body gets so hot you stop sweating.
That's a true medical emergency, and you need to call 911 so we can get out there and treat them right away.
And that was Fox 11's Nick Garcia reporting tonight from Southern California. An effort is underway in the San Francisco Bay Area to get people to harden their homes and prepare for wildfires. Congressman Sam Liccardo joined with local leaders and fire officials today in Los Gatos. Some neighborhoods in this area have been put on CAL FIRE's recent Fire Hazard Severity Zone map. Liccardo and the other leaders are urging people to take action and clear away dry brush in critical defensible space around their homes.
The most imperative work we need to do is around creating defensible space in our own homes. That is the best way we can protect not just ourselves, but our neighbors. And it is a critically important task of us regionally to be communicating what we can all do to protect ourselves.
There was also a demonstration during today's event of the remote-controlled BurnBot vegetation masticator. This can clear away heavy vegetation on flat land as well as on steep terrain. Now we turn to Arizona, where the extreme heat isn't stopping some tourists from enjoying outdoor activities. In fact, Fox 10's Ashley Rodriguez tells us the city of Scottsdale has become a summer destination for brides-to-be.
The city of Scottsdale says the tourism industry is thriving. 11 million people visited last year, and many of those people are made up of bachelorettes. They're seeking the bar scene, all the activities, and resort pool parties, even in 110 degrees.
Yeah, they do not care. Honestly, it blows my mind every summer.
Scottsdale is boasting about big numbers from a tourism analysis, showing people from around the country are seeking out the city's refined country western culture.
Because it is kind of a tolerable heat, even though it's hot. People seem to make it through and still have a good time.
It's under the summer sun when the city's golf courses are more accessible and affordable.
I think they're a little surprised when it's as hot as it is.
But the Airbnbs and hotel rates are lower.
Scottsdale has had more bachelorette parties than Nashville last couple years.
Scottsdale became a destination for parties during COVID when rules were more relaxed. And since then, small businesses like Scottsdale Bachelorette have capitalized on building experiences around the festivities, which actually tend to pick up during the hot summer season. They reported 1,000 decor setups last year.
And what's even crazier is they're still wanting to do those activities that are outdoors. So the party bike, the party boat, the hiking, the ATV.
An Instagram trend called Last Trail Before the Veil was born from the picturesque views from Pinnacle Peak.
But we're also seeing a lot of men's bachelor parties. They just don't wear the sashes, so nobody knows it, right?
And as prices tick higher in Las Vegas and Miami, where space for big parties is limited, the city is hoping summering in Scottsdale will soar in popularity.
A lot of people are coming here for the weather, but this summer, I think there's a lot going on. There's a lot of great restaurants, so many things to do, great shopping.
The city says for every dollar spent on municipal services, they're making almost $1.50 back. That means taxpayer dollars spent on police, public safety, and keeping the city clean is making money. In Scottsdale, Ashley Rodriguez, Fox 10 News.
And people in the Las Vegas Valley also feeling the extreme heat tonight. This is a live look at EarthCam images of Las Vegas. You see the strip there in the distance. Temperatures climbed into the triple digits earlier today in southern Nevada. For more, let's bring in KTVU's chief meteorologist Mark Tamayo, who is tracking this week's warm-up all across the West. We're talking about some really serious heat, Mark.
Yeah, that's right, Alex. The heat will continue to build over the coming days. So this map basically covered here with heat advisories up in parts of Northern California and extreme heat warnings, as you can see, toward parts of Arizona, Southern California, and into southern Nevada. As far as Southern California, there's that extreme heat warning in place with temperatures in the mid-90s approaching or topping 100 degrees for parts of Southern California. This was the scene today in Los Angeles, at least as you can see nearby Santa Monica. Los Angeles, 91 degrees today. The record for the day, 97, but well up above the average, and temperatures will continue to warm up. So Thursday, right on through Saturday, Los Angeles could be in the mid to upper 90s, and it's not only the heat, but the fire danger, a big concern here. So a red flag warning in place right now until 6 p.m. on Saturday for several days. For Thursday, Friday, and into Saturday, it could be breezy to windy, especially across some of the passes, and still very hot and very dry. So if a fire were to start, it could grow rapidly in this portion of the West. Now in Phoenix, you've been hearing about the hot temperatures, and you can see the forecast throughout the day tomorrow, and easily topping 110 degrees. The dangerous heat makes a comeback in the Phoenix area for tomorrow. As we show you the satellite, we also have some high clouds drifting into parts of Arizona, as you can see, moving in from the east, but overall no big storms to talk about, but still tracking some radar activity, as you can see here. And some of this coverage could be working its way into the Sierra Nevada as we do move into California, so that could set up some more thunderstorms. So the overall flow does bring in some more moisture, and right now it looks like we hold the possibility of some showers in the Phoenix area for tonight and into tomorrow. This was the scene in Seattle today, mid-70s this afternoon, showing you lots of clear skies. In the San Francisco Bay Area, well, this is San Francisco, a warmer day today. Temperatures in the 70s. And then in Phoenix, you can see it's picking up on some of those high clouds kind of linked up with with the shower activity. 112 degrees this afternoon. Right now, Phoenix is 110, Los Angeles in the 70s, and Portland and Seattle both in the 70s, around 72 to 79 degrees. It's a nice weather day up in Seattle tomorrow, but the heat, you can see it's just kind of blanketing a good portion of the West Coast, and that will be driving temperatures up over the coming days. As far as the cloud cover, we could have some high clouds move into southern and central California, and we'll keep an eye on those thunderstorm chances in Phoenix for tomorrow. Out across the West Coast, some more cities for you. As you can see, Concord in the Bay Area, 102 degrees. Santa Clarita in Southern California, 104. There's Scottsdale, 111 degrees. So here's the forecast. Over the next 3 days, temperatures actually trending up in Seattle for Friday and into Saturday. Los Angeles dealing with the heat, also out toward Denver, 99 degrees. And Phoenix not moving around too much, 110 to 112 degrees over the next 3 days. So we'll be talking about the heat, Alex, over the next 2 to 3 days. Some dangerous heat back in the picture.
Yeah, folks really have to be careful. Okay, yeah. Mark, thank you. Late today, Texas state Republicans advanced a bill to make new congressional maps that are meant to give the party an edge during next year's midterm elections. During a meeting with top Democrats today, California Governor Gavin Newsom called the vote in Texas a, quote, brazen power grab.
His team understands, they may not fully have grasped, but they understand that they cannot win plain, fair, and square. So they need to rig the election, period, full stop. And they're not going to stop with Texas.
Also today, we learned that former President Barack Obama is giving his stamp of approval to Governor Newsom's plan. Obama posted on his social media that he has, quote, tremendous respect for how Governor Newsom has approached redistricting. In Texas today, protesters took over the State House in Austin ahead of that vote. Tensions flared on the State House floor as state representatives argued over what they claim are heavy-handed tactics. Some of the Democrats were assigned round-the-clock police monitoring to ensure that they attended today's session.
Attempt to leave this chamber today without signing a permission slip, am I subject to arrest by the government?
No one will be able to leave the chamber without a permission slip.
Republican lawmakers defended the redistricting bill, saying they are merely trying to improve Republican performance in Washington, D.C. California lawmakers are set to vote on a bill tomorrow that calls for a special election on redistricting later on this year. Coming up tonight here on West Coast Wrap, a brazen theft caught on camera in Colorado. Police say someone took off with a police cruiser. Coming up tonight, investigators explain how this happened and what it took to track down that stolen SUV. Plus, a fast food favorite here in the West makes its debut in Washington today. The crowds that turned out to get their hands on some In-N-Out.
8 double-doubles.
I got double-double.
The famous old double-double.
Probably double-double animal style.
2 animal fries.
And I tell you what, boys, I'm getting ready to go animal style here, yeah.
An execution date has been set for the Arizona man convicted of killing a family of 4 nearly 30 years ago. Today, Arizona's Supreme Court announced Richard Jerf will be put to death by lethal injection on October 17th. Jerf pleaded guilty to the brutal 1993 murders of the Luna family. Investigators say he was armed with a gun when he forced his way into the family's home in Phoenix and killed all of the victims. Jerf's execution will mark the second for Arizona so far this year. Parole hearings will get underway tomorrow for Eric and Lyle Menendez. And tonight, the LA County District Attorney is laying out why he wants the convicted killers to remain behind bars. The Menendez brothers became eligible for parole in May after a judge reduced their sentences from life in prison without the possibility of parole to 50 years to life. The brothers admit they killed their parents inside the family's Beverly Hills home nearly 30 years ago. They say the murders followed years of abuse. Now today, LA County District Attorney Nathan Hochman commented on the case with a written statement saying in part, quote, the Menendez brothers have never fully accepted responsibility for the horrific murders of their parents, instead continuing to promote a false narrative of self-defense. The DA's statement went on to say, quote, we have consistently opposed their release because they have not demonstrated full insight into their crimes or shown that they have been fully rehabilitated and therefore continue to pose a risk to society. We will evaluate our position based on the evidence presented at the hearing. Los Angeles police have recovered millions of dollars in stolen property that was resold at a business. In the last week, the Commercial Crimes Division of the LAPD searched 2 locations of DJ General Tool and Wire in Montebello and Huntington Park. That's where they found an estimated $4.5 million worth of stolen property. This includes tools, appliances, and even e-bikes that were being resold there as well as online. Police say the items were stolen from train and cargo shipments.
Also important to remember, excuse me, that cargo theft is not a victimless crime. It affects retailers, distributors, and ultimately all of us consumers.
Officers have arrested the man who was operating those stores, and they say they are pursuing the maximum sentences in this case. The investigation remains ongoing. Police are asking anyone who has information to reach out to them. Well, tonight, home surveillance video shows a man suspected of stealing a police cruiser right in the middle of a Colorado neighborhood. As Fox 31's Nicole Fierro reports, a chase of that car ended with a crash.
An unfamiliar face ringing the Garcia's doorbell before 8:30 Tuesday morning on Oswego Court.
It happened basically 10 minutes after my daughter had just left school.
Minutes later, you see the man leaving their door with keys. He appears to try to get into their trucks.
What are you doing? My wife confronted him.
Then you see the man in the button-down shirt walk away.
You better not have stolen nothing from my house.
Less than 20 minutes later, police on scene walk up to an Aurora police cruiser. and it screeches off.
One of the officers observed the male getting into the vehicle and driving off and aired that to units in the area where a pursuit was initiated.
A pursuit ending here with that patrol car smashed.
The police just converged. I saw at least 15 vehicles go past me, a couple of Harley Davidsons.
As the vehicle tried to make a turn and was starting to lose control, one of our D2 supervisors entered the path of the vehicle and intentionally rammed the vehicle, stopping it.
Arresting a suspect they now identify as 31-year-old Brian Reyes Bernal. As for how someone was even able to steal the police car in the first place,
the keys were in the officer's pocket. Our vehicles are equipped with anti-theft devices. However, that wasn't engaged as the officers got out to investigate this call. We'll be reviewing that, of course, once we identify how it happened, how we can prevent it from happening in the future.
And that was Fox 31's Nicole Fierro reporting tonight from Colorado. That suspect has been booked on several charges, including aggravated motor vehicle theft, as well as hit and run. The Oregon city, at the heart of a major U.S. Supreme Court ruling on homelessness, has agreed to ensure camping spaces are available for at least 150 people in the city. This move by Grants Pass settles a lawsuit with a disability rights group. Disability Rights Oregon accused the city of discriminating against people with disabilities and violating a state law requiring cities' camping regulations be objectively reasonable. Last year, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled on a case that was brought by the city of Grants Pass. The High Court said communities can ban sleeping outside and fine people for doing so, regardless of whether there are enough shelter beds in that community. The families of two of Brian Kohberger's victims are now suing the city of Moscow, Idaho, over its handling of crime scene photos. An attorney for the families says he has filed an injunction and a temporary restraining order, asking a judge to order the city to stop releasing photos and body camera footage from Madison Mogen's bedroom. That's where Kohberger killed Mogen and Ethan Chapin. The attorney says his clients were not given notice about plans to release the evidence. Notice is not mandated, but it is usually provided.
When the door was shut behind Mr. Kohberger and he went to prison for the rest of his life, Karen and Scott felt like they could, take a deep breath and start to move on with their lives. And it was a positive day. And unfortunately, this prospect of the death scene images of their child being thrown out there to the world has visited them with a great deal of horror, and has set them back again.
The attorney says he reached out to the city before filing the lawsuit, and they did not come to an agreement. Kohberger is serving 4 consecutive life sentences without the possibility of parole for the killings of 4 Idaho college students back in 2022. The former chief of the Los Angeles Fire Department has filed a legal claim against Mayor Karen Bass and the city of Los Angeles. Kristen Crowley says she was stripped of her position in retaliation following January's firestorm. Her claim alleges the mayor's office launched a misinformation campaign against Crowley, publicly accusing her of sending 1,000 firefighters home before the disaster, failing to notify Mayor Bass of wind conditions, and refusing to conduct an after-action report. Crowley is demanding an immediate retraction of all of those allegedly false statements, a public apology from the city and mayor, and an end to all alleged ongoing reprisals. A legal claim is considered a precursor to a lawsuit. The city attorney's office has not replied to a request to comment on that claim. Coming up tonight, it is a West Coast favorite, no doubt about it. Up next, see how people in Washington celebrated today's opening of that state's first In-N-Out restaurant. Plus,
glanced over and saw and knew right away that it was a mountain lion.
an unwanted visitor inside a California home. Tonight, a man shares what happened when he spotted that mountain lion right in the middle of his dining room. Well, burger lovers turned out in force as Washington State's first In-N-Out burger opened up this morning. The new location is in the city of Ridgefield, which is north of Portland, across the border in Washington. More than a dozen cars lined up overnight to be among the first to hit the drive-thru here. The restaurant actually opened up 2 hours earlier than scheduled to handle all the crowds. People drove from miles around to get a taste of those burgers, and the hungry hordes seemed pretty familiar with the menu.
8 double doubles.
I got double.
Famous old double. Probably double animal style.
2 animal fries.
And I tell you what, boys, I'm getting ready to go animal style here. Yeah.
Yeah, they all know what's up. Southern California-based In-N-Out says this restaurant is creating about 80 jobs in the city of Ridgefield. Google has unveiled its new line of Pixel phones with new and improved AI features. The 4 new Pixel 10 models are taking advantage of a more advanced processor to include features like Magic Queue. This is designed to serve as a digital agent that can predict what users need based on their activity. For example, if a user calls an airline, Magic Queue is supposed to recognize the number and display your flight information. The Pixel 10 will also preview an AI tool called Camera Coach, which will automatically suggest camera settings and angles when taking a photo.
Probably Google's most comprehensive and wide-ranging hardware update that we've ever seen. And I think that kind of shows us that the Pixel team are really stepping up. And it's impressive because that has not always been the case in terms of execution.
All Pixel 10s except the foldable model will be available starting next Thursday. The foldable phone will be available on October 9th. The Federal Trade Commission has filed a lawsuit against LA Fitness over claims the California-based chain of gyms makes it too difficult to cancel memberships. In the suit, the FTC says customers face hurdles like limited cancellation windows and being forced to cancel in person or by mail. The agency is seeking refunds for affected customers and a court order to stop the practices. LA Fitness has not commented on the suit, but on its website, the company says memberships can be canceled at any time. And finally, tonight, a home security camera picked up images of a surprising sight for one family in Southern California. A mountain lion casually strolled into the family's home in Laverne, northeast of Los Angeles. The animal entered through a front door that was left open. The homeowner's son was in the kitchen when all of a sudden he noticed something that definitely should not be there.
Out of the corner of my eye, I noticed a large presence in the dining room and glanced over and saw and knew right away that it was a mountain lion. It was a pretty big cat too. And my immediate reaction was to check on my dog to make sure he was okay.
And thankfully, the dog was just fine. The mountain lion escaped by crashing through a back screen door. It did end up in the family's pool for a moment, then got out and climbed over a wall to get away. Thankfully, in the end, no one was hurt, but that family certainly with an incredible story to tell. That does it for West Coast Wrap tonight. We appreciate you watching. As always, have a great night.